Tell me it's not true, Anna. My voice trembled, but it wasn't from fear. It was from the kind of anger that comes when you've been holding it in for too long. Abena didn't look up. She kept stirring the tea in her cup, like the swirl of liquid was more important than the man sitting across from her.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She said calmly, her hazel eyes fixed on the steam rising from her drink. Don't do that. Don't pretend you don't know. I saw the messages, the ones between you and your...
So you were checking my phone now?
I wasn't looking for trouble. It just popped up while you were in the bathroom, and now I can't unsee it. Silence fell between us, heavy enough to make the air feel thick. Outside, the street noise of the April evening carried on like nothing had happened. Trotter maids shouting, fried yams sizzling, children laughing in the distance. But inside that small roadside cafe, it felt like the world had narrowed to just the two of us, and the truth hanging between us. After everything I did for you, after selling my sound system, working extra shifts, borrowing from friends for your school fees, and you were with him the whole time?
Kojo, sometimes love isn't enough. Yao gives me things you can't have. I didn't mean for you to find out like this.
No, you just meant for me to keep paying while you smiled for him. So all this time, when you told me you were at the library, you were with him?
Sometimes, but Kojo,
Don't, don't give me excuses. I worked myself to the bone for you. I stood in the sun doing deliveries, came home smelling like petrol from the mechanic shop, skipped meals so I could put something aside for you, and this is what I get.
you think I didn't appreciate it. I did. But Yao could give me stability. You give me effort, Kojo. But effort doesn't pay rent. It doesn't cover fees on time. I got tired of waiting.
The words hit harder than a slap. I felt something in my chest twist. Not just hurt, but humiliation. The people sitting at the next table were glancing their way now, pretending not to listen, but hanging on every word. You could have just left. You didn't have to make me the fool.
I still care about you. That's why I didn't want to hurt you like this.
Care. You don't betray someone you care about. You don't take from them while giving yourself to someone else. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The clink of cups and the faint hum of the cafe's fridge filled the space. Then I stood up. I placed a 100 Ganesha date note on the table for the tea. They hadn't touched. Keep the change, I said, not to her, but to the waiter, who had been pretending to wipe tables nearby. Without looking back, I walked out into the warm Accra night, the sounds of the city swallowing me. Behind me, Albena sat in silence, her spoon still in the teacup, the steam long gone, just like the man who once believed she was his future. 3 days later, I found myself standing outside the small betting shop near the junction, the one with the peeling paint and a crooked sign. He wasn't there to gamble. He was there because he all worked next door at the mobile money kiosk. He was taller, broad-shouldered, with a gold chain resting against his clean white t-shirt. He had that easy confidence of a man who always seemed to have cash in his pocket. When he saw me, your smile faded slightly. Kojo? He said, almost as if he'd been expecting this. I don't know what she told you about me, but you knew. You knew we were together.
Look, I didn't steal her. She came to me, said she was tired of struggling.
You mean tired of me?
Call it what you want. I take care of her. You tried, but sometimes trying isn't enough.
I clenched, but I knew throwing a punch would only make me look weak. So instead, I turned and walked away, each step heavier than the last. 6 months later, I was at the same cafe where everything had ended. He had just finished paying for his own motorbike, a small blue one that gave him freedom and extra income from delivery runs. As I sipped his tea, Abena walked in. She wasn't with you. She looked thinner, more tired, the shine in her eyes dimmed. She froze when she saw me.
Kojo,
She said softly, as if testing the weight of my name. Abila. There was a long pause before she spoke again.
I heard you're doing well now.
I smiled faintly. Yeah, I am. She looked like she wanted to say more, but I didn't give her the chance. He stood up, placed his cup on the table, and said, take care of yourself. This time, when I walked away, it wasn't with heaviness in my chest. It was with the quiet satisfaction of a man who knew I had healed. Back to how it started. The smell of spicy shito and freshly cooked rice hung in the air as we sat outside Auntie Essie's wacky joint. It was a sunny Saturday, the kind of afternoon where laughter from passing total passengers mixed with the sizzle of fried plantain from the roadside. Abena wasn't laughing, though. She sat across from me, stirring her food absent-mindedly, her eyes fixed somewhere beyond the dusty street. She looked far away. What's wrong? I asked, leaning forward.
The school fees, my dad says he can't cover it all this semester. I need 1,800 Ghana cedis more. I don't know what to do.
It was like she had dropped a heavy stone between us. I could hear the unspoken worry in her tone, the kind that comes when dreams are slipping through your fingers. Without thinking, I reached across the table and took her hand. Don't worry, I'll help you. I might not have it all now, but I'll get it. Her eyes met mine, and for the first time that afternoon, she smiled. Not the playful grin I was used to, but a small, relieved smile that said, maybe everything will be okay. In that moment, I believed it too. The following week felt like a race against time. I woke up earlier than usual, not because I had extra work, but because my mind refused to rest. Every morning started with the same thought. I need that money. I began by selling my old sound system, the one I'd saved for back in SHS, the one that had blasted Sarkozy's Illuminati every Friday night when the boys came over. It hurt letting it go, but the 400 Ghana cedis it brought in felt like a step forward. Next, I called two friends who owed me favors. One sent 300 Ghana cedis without much fuss. The other hesitated, saying he'd try next week, but after a long talk, he sent 200 Ghana cedis that same evening. By Friday, I had 900 Ghana cedis neatly folded in an envelope. I met Abina outside her hostel just before sunset. She was in her usual green hoodie, hair tied in a scarf, scrolling through her phone. When I handed her the envelope, she looked up, surprised.
You got this so soon? You got this so soon?
I told you I'd find it. That's half. The rest will come soon.
I knew I could count on you.
That moment felt like winning, like love itself had rewarded my efforts. I didn't know then that finding the other half would be a battle I might not win. 2 weeks passed, and the rest of the money still hadn't come. I chased every lead I could. Late nights at the mechanic shop, small delivery runs that barely covered my transport, and endless calls to people I thought could help. Each day ended the same, tired, sweaty, and no closer to the 900 Ghana cedis I still needed. The school didn't send Abana home. Her name stayed on the class list, and she kept attending lectures. At first, I thought that meant we'd be fine, that she'd understand I was still trying. But something shifted. She started calling less. When she did, her voice was polite but distant, like we were strangers playing at being close. Our chats on WhatsApp changed too. No more long voice notes, no late night memes, just short replies. How's your day?
Fine,
You free later? I can pass by.
I'll see.
I knew the tone. It was the same way people spoke when they'd already made up their minds about something but hadn't told you yet. Even when we met, she seemed elsewhere. We'd be sitting together, and her phone would light up. She'd glance at it, smile slightly, then put it face down without saying anything. I told myself it was just stress from school, but deep down I could feel the truth. The gap between us wasn't just about money anymore. It was growing in all the quiet spaces where we no longer talked. It was a Tuesday evening when I decided to go see her. The sky was turning gold, and the streets were buzzing with honking trotros and fried yam sellers shouting for customers. I had just finished work at the shop, hands still smelling faintly of engine oil. When I reached her hostel, she was sitting on the steps, wearing that same green hoodie from the day I gave her the first half of the fees. She was scrolling on her phone, earbuds in, not even noticing I was there until I spoke. Hey, she pulled one earbud out.
Hey,
She replied, but her tone was flat. I sat beside her, and for a moment, neither of us spoke. The air felt heavier than usual, like it was carrying words we didn't want to say. Finally, she took a deep breath.
Kojo, I've been thinking
My stomach tightened. About what?
about us. I appreciate what you've done, but I can't keep waiting. I need someone who can be there when it matters. You tried, I know you did, but it's not enough.
I blinked, trying to process. So you're ending it just like that? She finally turned to me, her eyes soft but unyielding.
It's not just about the money, but it's part of it. I'm sorry.
She stood up, slung her bag over her shoulder, and walked inside without looking back. The sound of the door closing echoed louder than the street noise. I walked home with my hands in my pockets, half the school fees still unpaid, and feeling like I'd just lost far more than money could ever buy.